Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Sunny here, and today we are taking a look at my top 10 tips and tricks for Black Desert Online, and you won't believe number 7. So anyway, let's jump into it. The first one here is probably the third most common question I get on the stream right after where to grind and what items should I get next. It's how do you get your pets to come out on your UI like this? And it's great, especially when you're out grinding and you want to have like attention to a pet so they don't run out. And it's very simple. You just right click the pet list. It will show and hide the pets just like that. The second tip is for node investment here. And this was actually what sparked the idea to make this video. I was going to do this and I figured, you know what? I might as well just show how to do this on stream. And then, well, if I do it on stream, might as well make a video. So the way you do it is you click down here on connect node directly on the map. Then you can select which node you want to go to. For me, I want to connect from Grana to Valencia. So I'll click here, I'll connect Grana. You can also type and search for them if you want to, but this is super fast, super easy. And then make sure you include invested nodes. That way it will factor in the ones you already have. And then I select Valencia. And boom, just like that, it will choose the cheapest route to connect to. You see here, I need 20 CP, I have 22. And then also my energy. So I just click connect nodes. And boom, we are now connected and I can now send out all my stuff. The third one, speaking of nodes, let's talk about node investment and drop rate from monsters. I see this question time and time again. Which node should I invest into, etc, etc. The way you find this out is through here under item drop in the old menu. This is going away, so let's take a look at the old one, the new one. You're gonna type in monster and it's gonna be your monster zone information. So opening this, you can search all the different zones. You can also look at Dikia versions and everything. And let's take a normal one that I get all the time, Arkman Temple. How to invest, you look up here. This is the one for all the nodes. It doesn't matter what the node says that you're grinding at. A good example of this is Darkseeker's Retreat. The one node you need to invest into for Darkseeker's Retreat is the Darkseeker's Retreat. It's the only node that will affect the drop rate. The way it works now is not actually in the node giving a drop rate. It is giving you a specific drop rate on all the monsters that you're killing that has the correct names. So this will work no matter what node you're grinding at. This is the one you invest into for Darkseeker's Retreat, and you can check it here. Now, while we're here, this UI is something you really should be checking out. It is insanely good. So let's cover it real quick. Let's take Darkseeker's Retreat. You can see all the drops. You can also autopath over to the quests, the daily quest. But most importantly, they added this one up here. So how much AP and DP do you need? Well, you can see the recommended here. You can click this one, view total stats. And now you can see the total AP. This is with all your buffs, your full gear, your monster AP and all that included. It says the recommended. Get the recommended, get at least a total of 1,000 with all your buffs, and then you can see what the AP soft cap is. For Darkseeker's Retreat, it's 1,100, and after that, you only get a 30% value. So get familiar with this one here and get to grinding. The fourth one, you've been out grinding or you've been doing live skilling or whatnot, and you have a full inventory. This one here for me was a lifesaver when it came to the quality of life. You can go to your storage and you can use this auto move all. This will move all the items into the storages that has the most of these already. So just like that, with one click, they're gonna send all these items into the correct storages for what I've set them up to. Now, one more feature to know about this is the cogwheel down here. You can click this and you can exclude items. So I don't want it to move my my crunch stones or cafres and all that into storages because I like having them in a specific place. Also my food and elixirs, I don't want it to move it, so I've selected this. You can go and you can add other items into it if you want to and set up your own exclusions so you never move a wrong item. Now, if you move your wrong item, you can see your storage history right here, and you can then check which item you accidentally moved when you find that hole in your inventory, and you can see where it went. Number 5, speaking of storages, right? We're gonna be in this for a bit here. One of my favorite things that I use all the time, huge quality of life, is taking my horse next to my storage. Whenever you need to move a lot of things through storages with this new Magnus Global Storage, you can open the mount inventory and then you can put stuff in there and overstack your horse, and then put it directly into the storage you want. So for example, let's say I want to be moving some of my iron ore here. I need to get it to my processing stuff, or maybe my trash I've been doing somewhere. It's too heavy. So what do? I just put it straight into my horse. I go into the storage where I want it, which is down in Grana, and I just put it in just like that. You can do this with everything. If you're grinding a place, you want to sell it, use your horse for those items that take up too much weight. Another little tip, speaking of your horses here, is you will probably run into having a full stable at times. Maybe you want to change my horse here. You can't check it in. Full stable, can't check it in. So what can you do? Well, you can still remote collect mounts into a full stable, and you can do this to turbo overstack a stable. So I can just, even though it's full, remote collect my horse here, and then I can take out my wagon if that's what I want to. Now do know you should repair them afterwards because they lose all their durability. Coming in at number 7 is hotkeying abilities. First off, under your K menu, you can remove this window here by clicking skill demo, and then instead of dragging an ability, let's say I want to have my fireball on my UI, instead of dragging it down and then accidentally hitting somewhere else, what you can do is you can drag it out and then you can click the hotkey you want it on. Let's say I want it on my hotkey 7, I just click 7 and it's now on that hotkey. You can do this with more stuff, not just abilities, but also your potions and elixirs and other usable. Let's say you want some hotkeys here, you want to move this one, my outfit. I want it on numlock 6 down here, so instead of dragging it down, you just click the key you want it on, and then boom, there it is. This saves you a lot if you, like me, have fat fingers and accidentally drags abilities out and not hit it, and now suddenly you change your UI because it makes a new quick slot for that icon right there. Number 8, speaking of hotkeys, there's something in this game called quick hotkeys. This is another question I get a lot. How do I take my tent out so fast? How do I repair so quick when out grinding? And it's very simple. I key binded it. There is something here if you go under hotkeys. They're called quick hotkeys. And it's a fixed setting you can. They are all going to be alt hotkey bound. So they won't interfere with your other hotkeys. So as you can see here, I have made campsite, opening my repair. But you can also do other things like your pet groups and a loot scrolls activation on. And a big one here that I really want to show you guys. You can keybind your crystal presets. So whenever you're out and you're grinding and somebody attacks you and you want to switch to your PvP setup, you oftentimes like V out, then you have to open your inventory, click on this, click on that, and then you can just hotkey it. For me, Alt G, that's my PvP crystal preset, so I can just insta, V out, come out of V, Alt G, and I got my PvP crystal ready to go. So check this list, there's a lot of cool stuff in here, and start using it. Another one that I found super helpful when I was doing my ecology grind was the ability to track mobs. If you're grinding ecology or doing other things, quest mobs or whatnot, you can go in and you can find the specific mob you want and track it on your map. So let's say I'm here and I'm tracking, trying to grind ecology and I'm doing Valencia. You can go in and you can find the mobs you're missing and then you can click track. It adds them. You can have, I think, 20 different tracks at once, and it makes a blue icon on your minimap instead of the regular red or yellow one. So you can go in, track the ones you're missing. So if you're riding through cities or areas, suddenly you might see a blue icon on your map. You're like, oh, I miss knowledge on that one. Go and kill it and pick it up. You can, of course, also add searching of mobs. The only mobs you can't track using this are the elite star-looking mobs on the minimap, but all the regular mobs you can use this tracking for. For the final one, I figured I would go over the P menu really quick because there's a lot of information in this that I know players are not aware of. And you really should make sure that this stuff is sorted out. First off, here you can find your family fame, which is extremely good. You want to try and work on this. The best way of doing this is by getting characters to level 60. Get characters to level 60 gives you the most amount of family fame for the least amount of work. And it's going to give you 10% drop rate and also a discount on the marketplace when selling things. Some other things to pay attention to here is your casting speed, movement speed, and all that. You can now mouse over these abilities and see the percentages they give at the different levels. And also making sure that you have them maxed out, especially cast speed, movement speed, and crit rate are very important for combat in this game. Another little thing here that's good to know is the combat type. You can mouse over this as well, and you can see all the combat types in the game. You have ranged, you have melee, and you have magic. And this doesn't matter when you're building your build for PvP. You can go like melee DR or magic DR or evasion, stuff like that. So if you're trying to build this kind of thing, this is something to pay attention to and be aware of. Lastly, quickly, I'll touch a bit on the drop rate here, because the drop rate in this menu is also important to know. You see the item drop rate right here. It's 204 right now for me. And if I mouse over my item drop rate over here, it says 134.5. So where are the remaining 70% drop rate coming from? Well, this up here is what we call the visible drop rate, and this down here is the hidden drop rate. You can get up to 300% on the regular drop rate and a bonus up to 100% on the hidden drop rate. This here is both of those numbers combined. So for me right now, I am on the Archer server. That gives me a bonus 50%, and I have recently killed the Breen boss for another 20%. So that gives me plus 70% drop rate that you don't see up here, but it stacks with this number. On top of that, I will get plus 10%, up to plus 20% for node investment. That also counts down here, it just doesn't show. So if I were to go out and grind right now on a node that I've invested in, I would actually be able to get 380% drop rate. And you can see your total number down here. So don't forget to get those hidden drop rates as well. Guys, I hope you liked the video. What are your favorite tips and tricks for Black Desert? Let me know in the comments. And if you guys like this, I might do version 2. There are so many more things to increase your quality of life in this game. So yeah, if nothing else, I'll see you all in the next one.